Welcome to VN Echoes of History Chanel. Chapter 9 Letters from Afar. In the first days of separation, Zan lived on hope. Every week, she went to the village post office, her heart pounding as the mailman read aloud the names. Then, amid the chatter of neighbors, came the name, Tran Van Nam. Nam's first letter was written on a few sheets of school paper, his handwriting neat, some words smudged, hurriedly written under a dim oil lamp. He wrote, "Zan, the jungle here is thick and damp, with mosquitoes as countless as rice husks. But don't worry, I am well. On night marches, I often look at the moon and think of you. Please take care of yourself, eat enough, stay strong. On the day of victory, I will return and keep my promise." Each time she received a letter, Zan read it again and again until she could recite every word by heart. She kept them in a small wooden box, locked tight, as if guarding a piece of her own heart. But life at home was far from easy. The stepmother remained harsh, the farm work unending. In the winter, when the cold cut into her skin, Zan rose before the rooster crowed to transplant rice shoots. Her hands cracked and bled, her cheeks flushed red by the wind. Sometimes, when she returned home late, the stepmother sneered, "Pretty yourself up all you want. Soon some man will carry you off, and who will tend these fields then?" Zan kept silent, though sorrow weighed heavy inside her. She wasn't merely waiting for a man, she was waiting for a future. Sometimes, Nam sent small tokens with his letters, a handkerchief quickly embroidered, a pressed wildflower between the pages. The fragrance had faded, but the scent of love lingered. The months slipped by, and letters from the battlefield grew fewer. News of Nam became scarce. Each time Zan returned from the post office empty-handed, she walked the village path in silence, listening to the wind rustle through the bamboo groves. Like a question with no answer. Chapter 10 The Unwed Bride. During Nam's absence, Zan still went to his family's home as if she had long been their daughter-in-law. At harvest time, she carried her sickle to the fields, cutting rice with swift hands, beads of sweat glistening on her brow. When it was time to dry the grains, she spread them evenly, laughing and chatting with Nam's mother as though with her own. In the maize season, she helped pluck the cobs and stack them neatly into baskets. In the sweet potato season, she bent low to dig each row carefully, so as not to break a single root. Nam's family cherished her dearly. His mother often told the neighbors, "This girl is beautiful in looks and in character. My Nam is truly blessed." Nam's younger sister would chatter endlessly whenever Zan came, pulling her into the kitchen to tell stories, sometimes slipping into her hands a small bundle of homemade cakes. One evening, Nam's father, watching Zan from the veranda, gave a quiet nod and said, half in jest, half in earnest, "Just consider this your home already. When Nam returns, no need for a grand wedding. Simply move in, and that's enough." Hearing this, Zan's cheeks burned red. She could only lower her eyes and smile faintly. Within her rose a quiet, simple joy, the happiness of someone who had found the home she had always dreamed of. At night, after the day's work was done, Zan returned to her father's thatched cottage. She lit the oil lamp, opened the little wooden box, and took out Nam's letters to read again. Each line felt like his voice speaking into the stillness, chasing away her loneliness. She believed with all her heart, when Nam returned, all her waiting, all her sacrifices, would be rewarded. And within her, the promise made under the moonlit sky still shone as brightly as if it had been spoken only yesterday. Chapter 11 Waiting Under the Moonlight. The years flowed by like a flood-season river, sweeping away the youth of many village girls. Friends of Zan's age now carried babies on their hips, balancing baskets across their shoulders, working the fields while watching over their children. Only Zan remained alone, her dark eyes holding fast to the image of one man. It had been many years since Nam's departure. Hundreds of handwritten letters, paper now yellowed, ink smudged by tears and damp, were carefully kept in a wooden box at the bottom of her chest. Each one overflowed with love and longing. Nights of marching when he remembered her figure beneath the moon, scorching noons when he pictured her smile as she dried rice in the yard, dreams of a shared home after victory. Her father and elder siblings often advised, "A girl's youth doesn't last forever. Wait too long, and you'll waste your whole life. Perhaps it's time to find a husband, so your father's heart can rest easy." The villagers whispered among themselves, "So pretty, and yet she wastes her years. Who knows how long she can keep waiting?" But Zan only smiled softly, shaking her head. Her heart had already been given, she could not take it back. "I'll wait for Nam," she would say, quiet, yet resolute. At night, when all work was done and the household lay asleep, Zan sat by her small window. Outside, the full moon hung above the treetops, shining just as it had the night she bid Nam farewell. She gazed at it for a long time, as though hoping its light would carry his image back to her. Seasons of moonlight passed, rice ripened and was harvested, village festivals opened and faded. Yet still the soldier's figure had not returned. And even so, in Zan's heart, the vow, "Wait for me," remained whole, engraved like stone, untouched by the erosion of time. Chapter 12 The Silence Between Letters. One early winter morning, mist blanketed the village path as Zan once again made her way to the commune post office, just as she always did. But this time, the mailman shook his head. "There's no letter for you today, Zan." She forced a smile, though her hand unconsciously clutched the hem of her dye. "Perhaps he'll send it next week," she comforted herself. But then the next week came, and the week after, and then months passed. The mailbox remained empty. Zan began writing more often. Long letters filling whole pages, her handwriting neat and careful, telling stories of the village, of the harvest, of her aching loneliness. She sent them, yet none ever brought a reply. Her family grew concerned. Zan's father frowned. "Soldiers, well, sometimes they change units. Losing contact is common. Don't trouble yourself too much." But in Zan's heart, a shadow began to spread. Each time she gazed toward the horizon, her chest grew heavy, as if an unseen hand was squeezing it tight. She sought out Nam's old comrades, asking anyone who returned on leave, but the answers were always the same, shakes of the head. "We don't know. His unit hasn't sent word lately." At night, the moon still hung outside her small window, but its light seemed dim, veiled by drifting clouds. Zan sat huddled, clutching the handkerchief Nam had once given her. Inside, a foreboding unease crept in alongside her longing, so strong it kept her awake through the endless night.